In today's episode of the Motorhome Matt podcast,
we find out what motorhome dreams are made of.
And in the news, that leisureshop.com has a brand new and shiny website.
And we answer your questions on using an EcoFlow to charge batteries, taking a purchased motorhome back to Ireland, and remapping a motorhome.
Welcome to the Motorhome Matt podcast. I'm Keith Gooden.
And I'm Motorhome Matt.
Industry insights and expert advice for the world of motorhomes, caravans and campervans. And it's brought to you by thatleisureshop.com and sponsored by Ripe.
Now remember, please do follow on your favourite podcast app. And if you're watching on YouTube, please click subscribe and the little bell.
Our product feature of the week, a new website. Well, tell us all about it. What's it for, first of all?
So thatleisureshop.com has a brand new web presence. It's been a long time coming, and the team have been working really hard in the background to get this launched and live, and it is now live. It's ready for you.
Is it live?
It is live.
It's live.
It went live last week. So
did it go live?
It's gone live. So it features lower overall shipping costs. This is something we've been really focused on because we hate shipping costs here, and they are going up and up and up. And you know that really frustrating thing when you go and buy a product or go to buy a product and the price looks great, and then there's the shipping cost on top. So we've been working really hard with our couriers and Royal Mail and also trying to swallow some of these costs. So we have managed to bring shipping costs down. We've also launched a brand new loyalty program where you get a point for every £1 you spend, and then you can spend those points instead of your money. So a great way of saving money. And there's loads more stock, more products are being added all the time, and it is super fast, way faster than it was before. It drove us potty with that spinny wheel of doom, and I know lots of customers went on there and waited around and then probably
the polo mint of chaos.
It's a nightmare, and trying to get a website that's super fast has been a massive project. We've done it, and we're dead chuffed with it. So we're developing it all the time. As I say, more and more products being added, products being brought back into stock as well, which is exciting. So go and check it out, please, at thatleisureshop.com.
Can I just ask a question about it?
Yeah.
Is it live?
It's live. Now.
Matt, it's product of the week time. What's your pick for staying safe and connected on the road?
Well, this one's all about protecting your data when you're away. NordVPN. It's something I use every time I'm in the van and relying on campsite Wi-Fi or even tethering through my phone abroad. You just never quite know who else is on the network or how secure it is.
So for people who've never used one, what is a VPN actually do?
It's a good question. A VPN, or virtual private network, basically creates a secure tunnel for your internet traffic. It keeps your data private, even on public Wi-Fi, and lets you access websites and streaming as if you're still in the UK.
So you can be sat in Spain and still watch your favourite British TV shows like you're at home.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, NordVPN has this feature called threat protection. It blocks pop-ups, trackers and dodgy websites before they even load. So your browsing is not just secure, it's quicker and cleaner too.
So how do you set it up? Is it very technical?
No, not at all. You download the app, tap to connect, and it runs quietly in the background. Works on phones, laptop, tablets, you name it.
Okay, so Matt, where can people get this?
Just head to nordvpn.com/motorhome Matt. You'll get 4 extra months free on the 2-year plan, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose.
The link is also in the episode description. It's as simple as that.
It's one of those things you don't think about until it's too late, so best to get it sorted before your next trip.
It's the Motorhome Matt podcast with me, Keith Gooden.
And me, Motorhome Matt.
Brought to you with thatleisureshop.com and sponsored by Ripe. Let's get in to the main topic, the big part of the podcast for this week. There's big news of a new competition to win a motorhome.
I know, a proper motorhome as well. So this is called Motorhome. Well, it's not a fake one. It's not a Lego one. Imagine that.
It's not. Yeah, you don't get sent a little A little toy.
No, it's a real motorhome, and it's been launched. It's called Motorhome Dreams, and it's a brand new competition launching this month. And it's the motorhome. Their first one they're giving away is a £60,000 Chausson motorhome with a big island bed. It's beautiful, and I saw it at the Newark show. And it's been fronted by Kelvin Fletcher, famous for the Emmerdale Farm programme.
And Strictly Come Dancing.
He won it. Series 17, he actually won Strictly, and now they have their own ITV show. Anyway, I caught up with Kelvin at the recent National Motorhome and Campervan show in Newark and asked him to tell us a bit more about his background and why has he got involved in this particular competition. Kelvin, I'm delighted to meet you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you, yes.
It's great to see you. So, Kelvin, let's just start, wind back to when you were 7, which I understand was your first TV acting job, is that right?
Yes, going back some years now, but yes, 7-year-old, budding, I wouldn't even say a budding actor. You know, drama was just what I loved at school. It was the only thing I was half decent at. I was terrible at everything else. And I went to a local amateur dramatic club and found the passion, and I've never looked back, really. I'm still figuring out what I'm going to do when I'm older.
Even now.
Yeah.
And what was that TV show?
That was In Suspicious Circumstances, presented by Edward Woodward. That's probably ringing a few nostalgia bells there for some people. That was a reenactment of old crimes, and that was, I kind of played a young boy who's part of a bigger case. And then I went on to adverts and dramas and all sorts. Really, I had quite a CV as a young child actor, and then I started Emmerdale in 1996 at the age of 12. And then I was there for a little while.
And you were in Emmerdale, man and boy. You were there for 20 years, is that right?
Yeah, 20 years. 20 years. And that was a job that I think 3 months on the old, on the job offer initially. As a family watched a lot of Emmerdale, Corrie, Brookside. When soaps were brilliant.
Yeah, they were.
When 20 million of us were watching in our homes, that's how big of a shows they were back then. And I joined and ended up becoming a part of the Sugdens, an iconic family. And for me, it was I was living out my passion day in, day out. As a kid, I loved pretending to be somebody else. That was the simplicity of it. That was my role. And I got to meet some amazing people. And like you say, man and boy, approaching my 30s. And at that point, I was about to start my own family. And I wanted to do something else for myself. And I made the incredibly difficult decision to leave. But I left an amazing chapter of my life, really, that I'll be forever grateful for.
So how on earth did you get into Strictly Come Dancing from Emmerdale?
Good question, actually. I tried unsuccessfully on about 2 or 3 occasions for Strictly Come Dancing. Of all those type of shows, I think that was, again, one that I watched and thought was a fantastic show, and I would love to be a part of it. I'd never trained as an actor properly, let alone as a dancer or a singer. I wasn't what they call triple threat, and I unsuccessfully auditioned and met the producers, and for whatever reason, maybe my face didn't fit, and then I got a call in. Somebody unfortunately for them, got injured one year in 2019, and I was a stand-in, and you never know if you're going to be out in the first week or 10 weeks down the line. The beauty of that show is you just, like anything, personally for me, you just give it your all and take out the experiences. And my dance partner was fantastic. The crew were great. The other actors, the other celebrities were great. And it was just, again, another fantastic, mini chapter of my life, really.
Well, you discovered this whole new talent that you had.
Well, I think hard work. I was 12 hours a day. I was I was one of them that had to really give everything to it. Really, I wasn't naturally gifted in that sense, but I worked hard, and as my dad always tells me, if you work hard enough at something, then there's a good chance you'll do all right, and you'll come off. And at least if you don't, then you've given it your all, and you can walk away proud. So
then you went from acting to dancing, and then into farming.
Yeah, that's it. When you say it like that, it just seems so random and bizarre.
Well, it's true. You then went and bought a farm, is that right?
That's it. We were actually moving to California. That's another story, but that didn't happen because of COVID. And I think we just subconsciously wanted a change. We already had a young family at that point, 2 young children, and me and my wife Liz, and we thought, what's next? And we wanted to live in the countryside a little bit more, a bit of an idyllic kind of setting, and maybe a good way to bring up the children. And we came across a little farm. We'd obviously never farmed before. The irony is I played a farmer for 20 years in Emmerdale, but because it's a soap opera and fiction, there's no real transferable skills. And we found ourselves trying it as farmers, and one with an appreciation of the outdoors. Similar today, you're exploring nature and getting out and that was a big part of it. And then slowly but surely, we've just discovered this unbelievable connection and passion for the land, the farming as an industry. So now we're livestock farmers. We've got a bit of arable, and we've kind of just 3-4 years in, and we've documented that, via a TV show as well. So
well, you landed an ITV show, is that right?
Yeah,
I saw the first series.
Yeah, I don't know about landed as such. I knocked on their door and said,
Okay.
I think this is it may be of interest possibly to some people, and do you fancy documenting it with me? And they've come on board, and they've been absolutely instrumental in its success. It's you never know how the story will unfold and how people will relate to your story, and it's really resonated with a lot of people, and we just show it for what it is. We're a young family and still learning, and with enthusiasm and the ups and the downs, and it's just our little story. It's an observational documentary, and as honest as we can be, and people have really taken to it, and it's a good little watch if I do say so myself.
I agree, it's great fun. And it's 2 series are in the bag now.
Yep.
You can watch them both now. I watched the first one, I need to go and watch the second one, and you're filming a 3rd series now.
They're both series on the ITVX. You can catch them there, and then our 3rd series, which we're currently filming, will be out at the end of the year, and then there's probably more to come as well. So yeah, exciting times for us. So this morning I was sorting the cows out, and then obviously I come down here to be with the Motorhome Dreams guys this afternoon. Then I'll be back at the farm, and then we're filming again tomorrow, and it doesn't stop. That's why I'm 41, but at times I feel like I'm
67.
Yeah.
So you are the good-looking Clarkson then, basically, of the farming world.
Yeah, I think Clarkson's pretty good-looking anyway. So I'm the shorter version of him with a lot less ground, and I'm probably a little bit maybe less abrasive
and better teeth.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
So then you've gone from farming now into motorhomes, and you're supporting the Motorhome Dreams gang, who are giving away a motorhome every month, which is an amazing project to be involved with. Why did you get involved with that?
Oh, the concept just sounds absolutely brilliant. The first thing I asked, can I enter? And unfortunately, I was told, no, you can't. So
you're not allowed.
I'm not allowed to. That's a little bit of a shame. I've used motorhomes and caravans over the years, from being a kid, and then I was racing for quite a few years. So your accommodation element was absolutely crucial in your race weekends, whether that's as a spectator or as a competitor, like I was. And I know there's always that debate between motorhomes and caravans, but for me, it was just they served the same purpose, just to get out and explore. And when I'm speaking to the guys behind this, I just thought it was a fantastic concept. It seemed to really resonate with what we do as a family and our story about getting out and exploring. And we often sit back and think, can you imagine? I mean, in 3 weeks from now, we'll be presenting this motorhome to the first winner, who'll have bought that ticket for £2.50. And we've got the absolute gift of being able to say, and I can almost see it now, they're probably going to say, we've never won anything in our life. But what a moment that'll be for them to. And then it's what they do. What's I'd love to know what's their journey. What have they ever had a motorhome before? Have they always wanted one? What they plan to do it? Where the holidays? Just to kind of hear somebody's story about how they hopefully going to experience the joys of having something like this.
So you are considered the brand ambassador for this project and for this competition, but it's more than that. You're getting involved with the winner when, as you say, you're actually going to be presenting this prize to the winner on your farm. Is that right?
Absolutely, if they want it, yeah. They might say, oh no, you just come to us, but listen, the hope is that they're going to come to our farm, and me and Liz will be there and the kids to greet everybody and host them somewhat. And I'd like to think it's of huge significance for them. It's the day you want a motorhome, and not many people can get to say that. So we just want to kind of add to that and make it really personal, and do that handover and spend a bit of time with them. And we've got loads of ideas for the year. Obviously, as you say, every month there'll be a new winner, a new van that's up for a lucky winner. And then we've got plans at the end of the years that these 12 winners come together at the farm, and we have a weekend together and talk about where have you been over the last year, where have your holidays taken you, and I think that's the biggest thing, is to really get an understanding of just what it's like to own something like this, what comes with that, and that experience, that sense of memories, and that journey, that adventure is key, really.
And what does motorhoming mean for you? Because you do enjoy this pastime yourself, don't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I could love nothing more, especially when the weather's like this.
Absolutely.
Get in a little chair, and just just watch the people go by. No, I think it's great. I think whether you're touring on your own, with your partner, or with a family, or whatever it is, I think there's something for everyone, and that's why you can see how busy this we are today at Newark. It's an industry that's only growing, really, and I think this is just a fantastic addition to what is already a fantastic industry, and hopefully the more people see it, the better, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Kelvin, for getting involved in this passion of mine. I love motorhoming, and having someone of your calibre helping and supporting a project like this is really crucial and means a lot to all of us. So thank you very much for getting involved, and I wish you a great year ahead of giving away someone else's motorhomes.
And I'll be due. I need to have a look around, because I need to maybe go and try and buy one, because if I can't win one of these, I'm not allowed to. Then I need to at least have a...
I don't think even I'm allowed to enter. So.
That's no good, is it?
Anyway, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming, and enjoy the show.
Yes, absolutely, I will do. Thank you.
This is one of the first motorhomes going to be given away. This is the Choson 788. It's on an automatic Ford Transit. It's 3.5 tonnes, so it can be driven by anybody. It's got an amazing island bed, big front lounge, an electric drop-down bed as well, so it will sleep 4 very happily with 4 seatbelts. This is a motorhome you really do want to win for just £2.50 a ticket. It's a no-brainer. Good luck.
So that's Kelvin Fletcher, the actor and presenter, and he's launching this brand new competition. What's it called again, Matt?
It's called Motorhome Dreams, and you can find out more about it and all the terms and conditions at motorhomedreams.co.uk.
OK, we'll be announcing the first winner in a few weeks. It's £2.50 a ticket, so it's easy to buy one, and you go to motorhomedreams.co.uk.
Yeah, and we plan to find out more with the organisers of this competition, because I think it's amazing. £2.50 is nothing, is it? I mean, you're going to enter? Buy 20?
I won't buy 20, but I might buy 10.
I actually met someone at the show that a few years ago won a motorhome in a different competition. And which I find incredible. I said, what did you do with it? He said, we sold it because it was a bunk bed layout, no good for us, but we now own a motorhome we love. So if you did win, you could sell it, or you could keep it and enjoy it. So we'll be unpacking more in a future episode with the people that have organised and running this competition at motorhomedreams.co.uk, so stay tuned.
It's the Motorhome Matt podcast with me, Keith Gooden.
And me, Motorhome Matt.
It's brought to you with thatleisureshop.com and its brand new, shiny and fast website, and sponsored by Ripe.
Get 15% off your insurance premium by using the code Motorhome Matt over the phone, or simply click the link in the description.
It's time for our Q&A, the questions and answers, as I say every week. Matt is the expert. He'll answer your questions, and if he doesn't know, he'll jolly well ask somebody who does. First of all, Paul Drake got in touch.
Hi Matt, my name's Paul. I've just bought a VW California Ocean T6.1, and I also bought an EcoFlow so that I can operate off-grid, and this comes with one of those alternator charger kits for the EcoFlow. Would I be able to attach it to the alternator on the camper to charge it, or would it conflict with the ECU and the battery brain of the camper? Difficult one. Just wondered if you know or know anybody who knows the answer to that question. Thank you.
Cheers, Paul. Much appreciated. Before we get into the answer to Paul's question, what's an ECU?
Electric control unit. So this is the brain of the engine. So it's what brings the engine management lights on if there's a sensor that's failing or spotting something that's wrong.
Yeah, it's looking at the engine and balancing everything.
And it's the bit you update if you're going to remap the engine or change something about it.
Part of the reason, isn't it, that when we get in our cars now these days, in the middle of winter, they start immediately without us having to put something with methylated spirits under the sump or pull the choke out. Remember pulling the choke out?
Your car has a crank handle on the front, doesn't it?
It'll be fine in the event of a nuclear war. I'll be fine. There's no electronics in it at all.
I'm not going anywhere near your car if you've got methylated spirits all over the sump.
So, can you help Paul?
Anyway, so according to the EcoFlow website, this pack, it's a portable battery pack, is designed to work with most cars, SUVs and vans. So yes, potentially, I'm sure it will work. I've used one on our own Fiat Ducato. It works brilliantly. So if you're unsure, you can check with the main dealer. But I did check with with EcoFlow, and you just connect it to a 12-volt outlet, and it will recharge the system really quickly. So they're really clever.
Cheers, Paul. Thanks for that. Jimmy Phelan's in Waterford in Ireland. One of my mum's mother, my grandmother, my nanny in Ireland. She was born near Waterford. Hi, Matt and Keith. We are looking at buying a motorhome from a dealer in England to bring back to Ireland. I know we have to pay VRT. Is that VAT? No, duty and VAT.
Yeah.
Is that the Irish tax?
It's Irish tax.
Yeah. Gotcha.
It's expensive.
Do you know if I can buy it zero rated for VAT from the dealer, or do I have to pay the VAT and claim it back? That's the 20% that you're going to have to pay. If so, how do I claim it? Also, will the invoice from the dealer show the price without VAT?
Yeah.
As this is the value customs here in Ireland will look at. Now, VAT, value added tax, it used to be called purchase tax years ago. People said we never used to have VAT. We always had a purchase tax. In the 70s, they changed it to value added tax. So can you come over from Ireland, like a lot of tourists do? You see tax-free shopping, especially in the West End of London, where you can get the VAT off. Can you do that with a motorhome? Because 20% on what you're spending is such a lot of money, isn't it?
You can, but it's brand new, so it has to have VAT in it. So it's either going to be brand new or second hand with VAT still unpaid, which is unusual. Which that would mean someone had bought it, put it through their business, claim the VAT back, and then it's being sold with the VAT. So you can, and the dealer can sell it to you VAT exempt, but the dealer is going to want to see proof of export, and they're going to need that to have on their files for their accounts. I spoke to our own accountant about this, our finance manager, and she has lots of experience of doing this for other businesses. And she said, yeah, proof of export would be a necessity. So you will have the carnet, where it's the paperwork for exporting it back to home, to Ireland, and also the Irish V5. If the UK dealer is not sure about it, then get them to speak to their tax advisor to get confirmation of this, and I'm sure Aoife won't mind. Speak to Cara Motorhomes in Southern Ireland. Very dear friends of ours and supporters of the podcast. Aoife has done this many, many times, and I'm sure she won't mind me giving her a shout out at Cara, because they've done this many times for lots of their customers. So yeah, go and speak to an expert if you're not sure.
And I'm sure if you ask a dealer, can you just separate out the VAT on the invoice for me? That if they don't want to do the sale, they'll do that. And anyway, you just got to subtract 20%. It's an easy sum to do, isn't it?
Yeah, divide by 1.2. But the dealer will give you an invoice with the VAT element highlighted. Therefore, you've got the total cost ex VAT very clearly labelled on the VAT invoice. That's normal.
I should imagine for dealers, actually, separating out the VAT is a good thing, because people do give dealers a hard time for, quote, jacking up prices, which we know they generally don't do. But it does show the big bite that government takes out of that purchase.
It's massive. Yeah, it's massive. And, of course, it's always been the case that you accept that you lose the VAT in the first year. 20% of your purchase is a lot of money, and that has become the norm again. It wasn't, but it is. That first year you lose the VAT. So if you are buying it for Ireland, then yeah, you're going to offset the UK VAT, but then you've got all the Irish taxes to pay.
Richard Hodgson is in Stowmarket. Hi, Matt and Keith. We met at Newark, and you gave me some advice about selling the van we've had for over 11 years. We've done 100,000 miles all over the UK and Europe. Thank you, he says. We sold it and got a replacement, a 2019 Malibu 640 Auto with only 8,000 miles on the clock. However, it feels sluggish compared to the last van. It was also an automatic. When pulling away from a roundabout, when joining a dual carriageway, when you want that extra little kick of speed. Kick down, they call it in automatic boxes, don't they? When you put the accelerator down, it goes down a gear. I'd be interested in your thoughts about that. Keep up the great YouTube channel, he says. Well, thank you so much, Richard, for the kind words. So Matt, is it just the box, or is he driving it in an incorrect manner?
I do remember meeting you, Richard, but I can't remember if the motorhome you sold was the 3-litre. That was an amazing engine, and it's been discontinued for reasons of emissions, and so Fiat focused on a much smaller engine capacity and drawing more power out of it. And so, yeah, I can understand why your new one might feel a little bit sluggish. I definitely am a fan of remapping. We did a whole episode on this, is should you remap your motorhome, it was called. Just Google that with the word Motorhome Matt and you'll find it. And I chat with Josh, who remapped ours, and it's an amazing performing van as a result. So I've not experienced any problems with engine lights coming on or anything like that. We had lots of comments on the YouTube video version of the podcast on this episode of people saying, oh no, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, well, I have, and I've done it many times with great success. So my own experience, I can recommend getting a remap done.
But it does void the warranty, doesn't it?
You should, if it's brand new under warranty, then potentially you could be. In my experience, the chassis manufacturer takes no interest. Your insurer might, and if it's going to increase performance by more than 10%, they want to know. I would advise you tell them anyway. I did and had no issues, and I've had no issues since.
If I can ask a stupid question, I'm the voice of reason on this podcast.
Really?
It's so rock and roll. Should we be expecting performance from a motorhome? I mean, it's going to be sluggish, isn't it?
Well, I think when you're pulling away, you want to pull onto a roundabout. The motorhome's heavy, and I experienced this only coming back from a show yesterday. And we're towing a big trailer as well, so we are quite a big train weight. And I want to get onto the roundabout, get there quickly. And if my motorhome wasn't remapped, I can imagine it would be really sluggish. The other thing to do if you've got an automatic motorhome is, my advice is, pulling onto a roundabout and you want to get there a bit spartly, is put it into manual and you determine when it goes into second. The number of times I've pulled out in first, especially in the old Fiat Ducato Comfortmatic automatic gearbox, as it was known, you'd pull away, first gear, foot down, and go, it's like, no, not now.
You have that gap of meat, don't you?
Gently change into second gear, and I'm trying to gun it.
Yeah.
So I would put it in manual, pull away in first, get the revs high, flick it to second, and off we go. And then I'd flick it back into auto. So you'll learn to do that with these automatic gearboxes. Ours is a manual, so I'm in control of which gear I'm in anyway. But a remap, I would say, is worth considering.
You're not listening to the F1 channel, by the way. It's just right. And also, always a good tip, and they do teach all new drivers this now, is try not to stop when coming up to a roundabout. Always creep as much as you can.
Yeah.
Don't stop. It saves you fuel, and you're in second when you're doing that creep.
It's all about timing. So that's called speed sense.
Is it?
For our advanced drivers listening, you'll know this. So that's arriving at the right speed in the right gear, ready to approach the roundabout. Great visibility. You're looking right, and you time your arrival in the right gear so you can just keep going and you don't come to a complete standstill. I love doing it.
Yeah, saves brakes, saves fuel.
Absolutely. You're not turning fuel into heat via the brake. So it's good driving technique. Try it.
Okay, how do people get in touch then, Matt?
We would love it if you did. You can just head to mhmp.info/Ask Matt. There you can click the orange button and record your question. Please tell us where in the world you are and we'll play you into the podcast. Or if you'd rather not do that, fill out the form and we'll read it for you. And
if you're looking for trusted brands and services, then make sure that you visit the Motorhome Matt approved directory. It's at mhmp.info/approved.
And if you're listening on a podcast app, make sure you press follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, please click the subscribe button and that little bell, and the gods of YouTube will tell you when a new episode is released.